Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? So in today's video, we're going to be going over the kind of platinum that you guys will be making for grinding out the Plague Star event. We're going to cover like what items are tradable and approximately how much they're worth now, and then we're going to speculate what you could be making if you held on to them for like maybe 6 months or longer, which is absolutely what I recommend you guys do. So, you guys are probably familiar with this little kickball right here, this little thingamajig right there that's just dancing around. So you're going to visit her in Cetus, and while the Plague Star event's around, there's operational supply here. So we're going to come here for this, and look at her. She smoked a lot before this video. She's like, I'm going to be famous. Hold on, let me Snoop Dogg it up a little bit. So we're going to click on that. I'm going to view everything that she has. So these things up here, not tradable. These are tradable. And they're about 750. We did the math on this. You'll be able to get about 4 per run of Plague Star if you're doing the Plague Star in the way that I went over in this video, which is the last video that I posted here. So if you guys watch that video, it'll walk you through how to do Plague Star. You want to mix the canister with both different, the 2 different mixes, the Infested and the Eidolon mixes. Put them in there, and you'll wind up making a lot more, or a little bit more standing for doing the Plague Star missions. And if you do it that way, you can get about 4 of these per mission with the amount of standing that you'll get. And the math on these are about 3 platinum in trade chat. And I'm sure you could find some people that will, you know, like want to buy them for less or sell them for less. But at the end of the day, if you're making at least 3 platinum off of these things, that's 12 platinum per run that you do in Plague Star. So that's food for thought. These aren't necessarily bad things to grind out after I'd say you've already gotten everything else for yourself and you're all good to go. These are not tradable, but these are the Fulmination, the Sacrifice. These are about 15, approximately 15 on the market right now. This is about 10 to 15 on Warframe.market right now. And the Butcher's Rivalry is about 15 to 20 right now. Now remember, these are not necessarily going to be around all the time, or necessarily the easiest things to farm. I don't remember if you can get these anywhere else in the game or if it has to be through Plague Star, but regardless, they're not that expensive. So it's up to you whether or not you want to grind them out. So you can basically here for 1500, that means you can get 2 of these per run. This you can get 2 of these per run, and this you can only get 1 of these per run, which I guess kind of makes sense why it's a little bit more expensive. So it's there if you want it. I don't necessarily, and again, this is all up to you what you guys want to do. I'm going to suggest what I think you guys should get after we kind of review everything else. Form is not tradable, not tradable. These are not tradable, but these Exodia Contagions and Exodia Epidemic, these are tradable. And the Exodia Contagions are going to be a little bit more plat. They're a little bit more worth it than the Epidemic. And there's an interesting thing that I want you guys to consider. On one hand, are people going to want Epidemic? Not as much as Contagion. So then you would think, oh, so I'll just buy the Contagion. But if you think about it like this, if everybody's buying Contagion because nobody wants Epidemic, you're going to have collectors in Warframe coming around that are going to want everything. They're going to want their hands on everything. I, for one, am a collector in the game, and I do want at least 1 of everything in the game. So, and I know there's a lot more people that are collectors as well. Chat, if you're a collector, throw it out there. Let us know who are my collectors in chat right now. But if you like having at least 1 of everything in the game, and everybody's collecting Contagion, then that means that there's not going to be a lot of people selling Epidemics, which means you would be able to sell these a lot faster, and possibly even easier, maybe even for a little bit more platinum, even though it's not as good as Contagion. If you find, I guess, the right collectors that have a lot of plat sitting around, they don't care what it costs, they're just trying to grab it and get out, and that's it. And I do believe it takes about 10 of these in order to max it out for like a 3-spot arcane. Both of these are 3-spot arcanes, so it's going to take about 10 of these to max them out. So that's food for thought on what you want to do. Right now in the market, I believe these are going for 15 a piece. But also, when I say the prices right now, that's right now. I need you guys to remember that after all this is said and done, and it's not farmable anymore, the price is going to slowly go up, which is why I recommend that anything you guys are going to grab from this event to sell, hold on to it for at least 6 months. It'll be much easier to sell it down the road when it's like half-year mark from where Plague Star was, because then people aren't going to want to wait 6 more months for Plague Star to come back, and everybody that wasn't around for this Plague Star that still needs this stuff, they're kind of in that spot where it's like, well, I don't want to wait 6 months, so I'll just buy it now. So that's kind of like, that's where I recommend you guys go with that. The Ghoul Saw, all this is tradable. And according to chat and everybody, this weapon kind of sucks. Like, it's not really good at all. I honestly didn't really even care about this weapon when it came out. I looked at it and I was like, that's just a novelty weapon. It's kind of like, it looks really cool, but I want it to be good. And I want it, like, I don't care about necessarily cool. I want this to kill groups or like loads of enemies all at once. I don't want a melee weapon that just looks cool. So at the end of the day, is it worth grinding this out? Potentially, because we did the math. Let's say that you guys do one run. You guys are grinding either Heartneath or Radiant out. That's 12 platinum per run. We did the math on how many runs it would take you if you're doing Plaguestar the right way to get the whole set here, and it's about 7. It's a little bit more. It's like 6.5, really closer. You're gonna have to do 7 runs to get the whole set in order to get this. So comparatively, that means as long as you make, if we're comparing it to what you can get off of these, if it's 12 plat per run and you do 7 runs of these, as long as you could make more than 84 platinum off of the whole set of the Ghoul Saw, then it was worth it. As long as you can make 84 platinum or more. And honestly, if the weapon's not that good and people aren't really going out of the way to grind tons and tons of these out and just stock up on them to have to sell for later, you probably would be able to sell it 6 months from now for at least 100 platinum or more. So it might even be worth it for you to grind these out. But again, that's up to you and what you want to do. And the Butcher's Rivalry, this is going for about 15 to 20 right now. This goes along with the Ghoul Saw. So it's kind of like, you might as well just farm this out too if you're going to farm the whole weapon set out. Otherwise, I'd say it's probably not worth just farming these out and not the weapon sets. Because you got to think about like how many people are going to want to make plat but not really want to do it. They're gonna try to find the lazy way to do it or like the smart way to do it, and they'll probably buy a whole bunch of these and not a lot of these weapon sets. They'll buy the mod but not the weapon, and ultimately what that's gonna do is it's just gonna make this oversaturated in the market and this undersaturated, or whatever the term is. So at the end of the day, my recommendation for what you guys should be buying from this is honestly Exodia Contagion, Exodia Epidemic, and really after that, whatever else you feel like getting. Again, 12 platinum a pop, 12 platinum a run, 12 platinum a run. These aren't bad. And as far as like, just side note, what should you guys do? Like, let's say, oh, Neo, you know, like, what should I be spending all of my Plaguestar stuff on if I already have everything? You know, like, not for platinum, but like, does it make sense for me to buy these, buy the Cetus Wisps? Like, does it make sense for me to do that? I made a video, which is right here, for the Cetus Wisps and how to farm those, and I recommend just doing that instead of wasting all of your time buying the Cetus Wisp. And also, as far as these Norg Brains, Mercury Liver, all that stuff, if you know you definitely need some of these for like 1 or 2 things in the game at the moment, then maybe it might be worth you buying it versus fishing. It depends on how you feel about fishing. It's really up to you. But ultimately, I don't really recommend just buying tons of these and having them left over. Like, I haven't needed these for a long time, and I already have loads of leftovers of these, so I don't even. Like, I don't think it's worth getting these. Ultimately, when you're done with everything, if you're not after platinum, Forma is what you want to do. This is the best Forma farm in the entire game. Whenever Plaguestar comes around, best Forma farm in the game. So this is what you want to do. But all that being said, going over all these things and how much they're kind of worth right now, what, you know, like what makes sense to sell later down the road and how long you should hold on to them for and all that stuff. If you guys found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. If you guys like earning free Warframes, weapons, or mods like this high little girl over here does, then be sure to stop by my Twitch channel, ask me more about that, and I'll tell you guys how you guys can earn the free Warframes, weapons, and mods. And all that being said, thank you everybody so much for hanging out. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome night, day, whatever time it is. Absolutely love your faces, and I will see you guys, if not in the next video, then on my Twitch channel. Laters.